I am Elzbeth. I'm here to talk to you about our group, the Notorious D.I.D. I harbor our remorse, our sadness. There's a lot of that happening right now. We're under a great financial burden that no one within our house seems to understand. They're used to us being able to pull out bunnies from our butts, pardon, about that. It's true that they're used to this, and there's none who currently. We are struggling very deeply. Not just the normal way. Oof. We're struggling to handle our illness, but for no reason we're in the need of getting together $5,000 for deciding on our home that we live in, home that our daughter lives in, home that obviously we have fur babies on someone that we don't like lives here as well. $5,000 may not seem like a lot to some people, but to us it might as well be $1 million. There are so many different things we have been trying to do, and all of them have been in failure. It's unclear what to do to not end up if deciding that's not needed is not done. We could be evicted from where we currently live, and we have nowhere else to go. For months, we have been working diligently put together something to try so many different things. We are disabled, even though the state of South Carolina is not, pardon, recognized that we are. We can barely walk. Because of severe back degeneration. The seizures that we have limit us with being able to work a regular schedule. There are still people who depend on us, and we depend on ourselves as well, and we're not sure for once what to do. It's not a matter of not wanting to work. It's a matter of not having a lot of avenues within working. And this is a problem. You may notice my voice is a little different. This is because the more that you are in place, then your real true self comes, and you are more of yourself. We were asleep, having a nightmare, and then I woke. I don't come to the forefront unless we're in great dismay. Which leads me to believe we are in some serious doubt and financial issue brewing. There have been lots of, several individuals who have had suggestions, which of course, those are all appreciated. The problem with some of those suggestions is they're based on someone who doesn't have the limitations we have physically. Another thing that was brought up was the working And if you change out, someone suggested having a script to be able to continue working when the other person comes. That's not something that's easily done. We don't bounce in and understand what is going on. A lot of times we don't even remember who we are. And with that, we don't necessarily know where we are or what is happening. And to just come into a situation like that makes doing a phone job, like some of us have done in the past, difficult, very difficult. That would be like one person being on stage singing. Then you bring in forward a different person. You take that person off of the stage singing and you bring in another. And doing so, the person that comes in, they may not even be able to sing. They may not know the words. They may not have the same abilities in any way. And I know that there's a lot of people who don't understand the way that this disorder is. But it is not a disorder where we are all of the same abilities. The confusion and amnesia that takes place can be very debilitating and a problem. It is difficult to sort out for yourself, much less anyone else. Recently, we read somewhere that a person had gotten a job at Goodwill. They had displayed the fact that they have D.I.D. and let them know also that they had physical limitations. Well, companies don't care. You have physical limitation. Companies don't care. They're going to fill that spot with someone who doesn't. And that's exactly what happened to this person. If you are not physically able to do what they want you to do, even if you're semi-able to do it, if it's not what they want, then taking the physical problems into account, and then also taking the outside circumstances with D.I.D, it can be a serious issue to try and obtain and maintain work. And finding positions that are on your hours and your terms. And nobody cares about your terms. Put it that way. Nobody cares about your terms, what you need. They care about what they need. It's their workplace, and they care about what they need. I'm not really going to discuss about myself today because my position is harboring weight, and my identity individually does not matter if we have no avenues. We are being pushed into a corner that is substantial, and we are trying to figure out how to push back. This is most likely being a depressing video, but factual. Do I not have an American accent? That's correct. Maybe that will be covered at another time, but as I stated, the importance today is the fact that people understand the true financial burden that takes place with DID. It is one that is not easily answered. If you're in place for a long period of time, it's not as much of a problem. But when you have multiple authors who are switching out on a regular basis, not everybody can function properly or usefully. Not everybody can, as the one person stated, just take over with a script. It would be wonderful if that was the way it was, but it's not. It doesn't work like that at all. And the reference with singing on a stage is the perfect reference for that. How many of you can go on and just take over and even sound the same for that matter due to circumstances of accents and differences? It is a massive mountain to climb that reaches so far you don't know how to grab a grip, and you slide back down with your feet because there's no stability. And where there once was stability, there's not currently. So how do you get a foothold? That is the question our system is trying to overcome currently. So I will close. I think I have sufficiently covered our situation and why it's our situation. I am Elzbeth. I am the retainer of a lot of remorse and issues in our system. That way, the conflicts can somewhat not bombard the others. We are the Notorious D.I.D system. And we thank you for coming to listen.